Boob Job is the first episode of the fourth season of Everybody Loves Raymond. This is directed by Mackenzie, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. It's not my favourite episode, and I think that's largely because I really don't like Debra's behaviour here. I love Debra, and if you were to ask me to name my favourite characters, that would be very difficult, but Debra would be a contender. But quite often, she acts very unreasonably, and this is one of those cases. Starts off with Ray and Debra going to parents' night. They're then in the home of one of the parents, and Debra tells Ray that it's a mother of one of Ali's school friends has had breast implants, and she actually showed them to Debra. And of course, Ray's very excited by this, and he sees this woman, and he's still very excited about this when they arrive home. When they get back to the house, Frank, Robert, and Marie are all there. Marie seems to be doing laundry. Frank and Robert are watching the game. Presumably, one of them was meant to be there to watch the children, but they're all there. And Robert is excited about Ray's story. Frank is excited about Ray's story. Marie doesn't like to hear about this woman who got breast implants, and she's a little bit unhappy that her two sons seem to be excited about this. And she explains that she never breastfed the boys, so they shouldn't be obsessed with breasts. Apparently, according to Marie, babies who are breastfed become obsessed with breasts. And we're then in bed with Ray and Debra, and they're still talking about this, and Ray tells Debra, she asks if she needs them, and Ray says no, he doesn't think she needs them, if she thinks they're stupid. I feel like that maybe wasn't phrased as sensitively as he could have phrased it. He referred to her breasts as Barnes and Noble, which I have to say amused me quite a lot. And clearly Debra is thinking about this. We then cut to sometime later. Ray has been on the road for work. He comes home, and Frank and Robert are acting very peculiarly. I actually thought it's because they'd seen what was about to be revealed and they wanted Ray's reaction, but actually they just wanted to watch the game. But that gave them a reason to be over there. And Marie then comes over, and Debra is wearing a very revealing shirt, and it looks like her breasts are larger. Clearly, the thought there is that she's had breast implants, and everybody leaves. Marie is very uncomfortable, and Ray and Debra go upstairs. And this is when I started to realise maybe not everything is as it seems. And I think it's because Debra was acting a little strangely, and she puts on her nightwear. They're even more visible, I guess, and she asks Ray if he wants to see them. And as I said, I feel like by this point it was clear that something was going on. And honestly, I do not like what Debra did here. She reveals that actually she just stuffed some socks down her shirt, and she was, I guess, trying to trick Ray to see if he would be happy that she got larger breasts. And I don't agree with that. Just because he would have been happy with that, it doesn't mean he's not happy with the way she is now. And the conversation that follows is very well written in Ray's favour, because Debra is saying all of the wrong things. Ray is saying all of the right things. He's supporting her. He's giving her the right encouragement and saying that he likes her the way she is. And that's so lovely. He's complimenting her appearance. And Debra says, I don't care how you look. And she's really insulting to his appearance, and I don't think that that's right at all. And in the episode, there were no repercussions for her nastiness. And she goes one step further and insults him, because Ray tells her he loves her breasts the way they are. And Debra tells him, I love you and your breasts as well, obviously referring to having man boobs. And that's insulting to Ray. I mean, I don't know if Ray completely cares, but that's a negative thing. That is saying, well, you have man boobs, but I love them anyway. Whereas he wasn't saying, well, your breasts are small, but I love them anyway. He was genuinely complimenting her, and Debra was just being nasty. She tricked him, she lured him into a trap, and then she insulted his appearance, and there were no repercussions for that. In fact, Debra got the last laugh, because Ray was in the bathroom looking at his body in the mirror, and she asked him if he wanted her socks, which, again, well, not necessarily insulting his appearance. She was insulting the fact that he was caring about how he looked, even though that's exactly how she felt. That moment when she was lying in bed and looked down her own shirt and kind of made a face as if to say, is this all I've got? That's how Ray was feeling in that moment. He was feeling self-conscious. He was questioning whether he looked the way he should look. And of course he does. And Debra was just nasty in this episode, and I don't like it. And as I said, she got the last laugh, even though she was the one who was being horrible throughout and sly and devious and judgmental, and that's not great. So I don't love this episode because I don't love Debra's attitude, and that is the bulk of the story. I don't love how she treated Ray, and that is the majority of the episode. So I'm not a fan of it. Not a great episode. Were there any funny moments? Honestly, no, not really. Yes, Barnes and Noble. Okay, yes, there was one moment that I quite liked. But other than that, definitely not a great one. I guess Frank and Robert definitely brought some comedy to this. But in general, Boob Job definitely isn't a personal favourite episode of Everybody Loves Raymond.